Yo, what is up? My name is Sven and you might know me from Rust base building or recently from Twitch Rivals. I recently had the huge honor to compete in a 5-day Rust tournament playing with and against the best of the best in Rust Twitch Rivals. In this 100-hour event, I had the huge responsibility to build the base. To give you a short impression, this is how that went.
Hello and welcome everyone, it's Twitch Rivals Rust Team Battle number 2.
Yo, how do we go to the rooftop, man? Holy fuck.
A hot air balloon in my diving gear. It was out there.
Hey guys, I'm here with Sven, the grand architect behind XQC's base.
Ah, fuck! Listen, Sven, tell him about how confusing our base is. Where am I?
Thank you so much to Sven for checking in with us.
Oh, no. Now, jokes aside, I had a huge task. And looking back, I'm happy and proud that I managed to do it. Now, I'm about to give you guys a tour of the base. And I recorded this live when Twitch Rivals was still happening. But before that, allow me to explain one quick thing.
Did you just die? What? Did you just fucking die, bro? What the fuck just happened, Sven?
Building a base this size and for this purpose was complex. And believe it or not, I was actually in Africa for vacation and got back 5 hours prior to the event. I basically had no time to prepare anything, which in the start of course stressed me out a little bit. My approach was very simple. In the given 17 by 17 plot that you're allowed to build in, build as big as I possibly could. Before the event started, I did manage to prepare a footprint that fits inside the plot, but that's it. Now see, an instant lose condition for Rivals was if your TC was destroyed. So under no circumstance I wanted to risk this from happening, and I sticked with making the base as big and expensive as I possibly could. Of course I wouldn't want to risk my team farming for days and just lose everything in seconds, you know. Speaking of which, this was my team. Team Red. With captains XQC and Mendo. Now looking back, I realized that during the first days of the event, Rivals actually took a shit on my base live. Many times.
And here you have kind of a standard build. So you see the stone, right? And that's going to be your core.
Team XQC's base, zooming out from the outs or from the inside. Not much has changed over here.
So this is, it's not the strongest base. It does have that China wall. What do I mean by that? It's not external walls, right? It's built with either wood or stone, and that all costs a ton of resources on your TC. So the upkeep is very difficult to maintain here. So it's going to be difficult to rocket rate it from a distance. It's going to take some time and a good opportunity for people to obviously rebuild that. I do see some soft side sheet metal on the left. That's unfortunate. But let's take a look at some of these bases, and I don't know. Well, this one really isn't chef's kiss. I was going to say it's beautiful, but XQC's base is probably one of the weaker ones here, unfortunately. Again, they've kind of had other priorities. This is XQC's base. You know what, Ain? I'm really surprised at how well it defended today.
And I'm not gonna lie, to be honest with them, I agree. Now, of course, the broadcasters from Rivals aren't like Rust base build experts, so, you know, I don't blame them. But one thing that's important to mention is that up until the first elimination phase, nothing could be destroyed by the enemy team, not even Twig. So this is why we left a lot of the base wood, to save upkeep and to prioritize other things that we needed at those moments. Other than that, I think looking back, I took the assignment a little bit too literal too. Like, if you look at other teams' bases, our base was easily 4 or 6 times more expensive and looked, well, ugly. Yeah, ugly, I know. Now, there's a lot of features this base had, and allow me to show you those in a tour of the base. So, base tour time. On the outside, you see a big-ass shine wall. You can see that the base almost perfectly fits inside the 17 by 17 area. My base actually fits inside a 16 by 16. That is the general outline, and what I did to design it was I had optional honeycomb here that I wanted to add, but it was optional because I didn't know if I could center the 4x4 perfectly. Now, as you can see, we don't have the honeycomb, and that means that, yeah, I wasn't able to center the 4x4. So that was the initial footprint. Now, the footprint is a 4x4 core and then a bunch of like rings around it with a massive China wall at the end. Yeah, from the outside, there's 4 ways in. One on this side and then one on the next and one on the next and one on the next. That's all the ways in. These things on the corners, they are just for bait. They're empty. Maybe they think we might be stupid and put a TC in there. And all the ways in, they're kind of like pathways because I wanted it to be not just one door to get inside of the China wall area. So there's a lot of doors, and then we are in the China wall thing. Oh, I hate that it's getting dark, but I guess we're gonna have to deal with it because we're on a time limit right now. So yeah, this is the courtyard, as I like to call it. Large furnaces here, turrets covering that, drop boxes, and that kind of stuff. Something that's cool, a lot of people liked in this that are playing today, is these drop boxes. They're integrated inside of the actual base. You can access them from the outside. It's pretty cool. Now continuing on, you notice there's a bunch of doors other than the door going out. So we have this one that leads outwards. We also have this one that leads basically nowhere. Just to a hollow China wall. Now the reason the China wall is still hollow is because we simply do not have a lot of resources. And a lot of people have placed like bags and stuff in there. So we might see how much metal we have and just still upgrade the China wall last minute so that we save upkeep. But for now, that's why those doors are there, so we can still access it. But they're still like closed in. On each corner you see the turrets covering that. And a lot of shotgun traps that I still need to move because they're in a very bad spot. And in the corners we have the bedrooms for the China wall. They go all the way up. So we have this one, we have the second one floors with windows where we can peek from the side. I don't know where there's a sign there, but you can peek sideways. You can see Mendo's right there. And then we have two ladder hatches. One of them actually leads to a battery room. Battery right there. They're a little bit hidden. The other one leads upwards. The other one leads actually up to the China wall. So we have peaks more downwards here. They're kind of rough because raiders can shoot your legs. And the same on the other side. And the same on the other side, we still have another bedroom as well. You can see right here. With also peaks on the China wall itself. So there's always retake peaks to take over certain sections of the base. And we go out here, we are actually on the China wall. You notice there's a little bit of elevation going around, and I did that on purpose. I did that to create peaks like this, so that it's very hard for raiders to use the China wall against us. Now, a lot of China walls you'll see that are sealed in. There's a roof on top, and there's windows looking inwards too. I think that's generally bad, because it allows raiders to also use your China wall against you, as they can be in cover. In this case, the main base and the towers are always overlooking the China wall, so we can always kill raiders when they're using our China wall. That's kind of the idea. This corner is the same everywhere. So we have this corner, and then it's the same on the other 4 corners as well, or the other 3. We go in here, we have kind of like, this is actually one that got raided this side, so it's kind of scuffed. But if I just go to the next one, we have these like center areas. Now this ladder hatch actually leads back down into the airlock that leads out of the base. So that pathway thing in the China wall, that leads up here as well. We can continue going up, which is like a shortcut way to our shooting floor. So more peaks here once again. When we go here, we have our actual shooting floor. This connects straight to our base. So we go through here, and we can run around fast through our shooting floor. Now this corner is the same on every corner, and then this middle part is the same on every middle part, and that is the only peaks we actually have on this base in terms of peek down on the shooting floor. I personally really like these because they're they give a lot of angles. You can almost see the entire side of the base just from this area. Of course, the more peaks the better, but more simply just didn't really fit realistically in the base. If we go back down, the fast way down. Go back down. Back in the courtyard. I think that's it for the outside. So that's another Dropbox area. On the corner of every base, there is a door in. And this is also the same on every corner. So everything is mirrored, everything is symmetrical. We have this chute leading upwards towards the, right there, the shooting floor. And that door leads towards the peak downs. And then we continue through here. We have a respawn area right here. Where people can, like, put stuff. I lead in here and we get into the inner peak downs. And the inner peak downs are only on the 2nd level. And that's really something I did to save upkeep. And as we go around in the ring, you'll notice the outer ring with the peak downs. You notice that there's only 2 ways into the 4x4. This one right here. And this is also where you can see that there's a 4x4 pour. Let's go in there. This was our starter right here. A lot of boxes. The reason I went with a 4x4 is because it's super spacious. A 3x3 is pretty easy to raid. And although that didn't matter in Twitch Rivals, it's more natural for me to go with a 4x4 because it's harder to raid. Because a 3x3, if you splash 2 walls, or if you splash 4 roofs at the same time with a rocket, you have almost access to the entire base. If it's a 4x4, they have to choose. So it's a lot stronger. So I really like 4x4 cores. Other than that, it's a lot more spacious than a 3x3 core. So notice there's no jump ups in here. It's literally just sealed in. The jump ups are actually on the outside of the 4x4. So you go here, and there's a jump up. Drop box is there, drop box is there. They're not even placed. We didn't even need them. And then once again, this door leads out, and then the left door leads up from the outside. So we can an alternative way up. Up there was going to put turrets, or I don't know what. Didn't get to it. Purely optional as well. So we go up. You know, this is all sealed in, and the same on the other side. Windows for optional peaks if needed. Bedrooms, this was like our PvP area in the start. Continue going up. We reach the third floor, which is the peek down floor. It's a little bit open, and it's for reasons. I'll show you guys why. I'll show you guys the peek downs for those. Peek downs are on second floor. They are also very minimal. They're only on the corners. Let's see, we can't peek down here. I did it on purpose. I thought that the inner peaks aren't going to get used, mostly, because we're just going to get pummeled from the outside. So we're really going to be on the roof or outside. So inner peaks didn't really matter that much. So that's why they are like the way they are. This is a optional bedroom room. The same is mirrored on the other side. And then on the other two sides, we have the jump ups, which lead into main loot, which we'll go to in a sec. So if we continue on the corners, you'll notice that this is the same 4x4 as below. Although there's some doors going out. Now, this was all supposed to be honeycomb. I didn't get to honeycomb it because people placed bags and beds. So some parts aren't honeycombed. And here's the same chute again. That leads to the chute up in the front door, leads up here. And also to the shooting floor again. So that's that door. You get out here. If we go down, you'll notice some extra peeks into the peek downs. Like retake peeks. You can fight from here. And if we go back down, we have this alternative way up. We're down here and we go here and we have the way up. See? So that is all the ways up, basically. Peek downs, turrets are turning on, good. Let me show you guys main loot. So we go up here, and the same is on the other side. And we go up here, and we have, voila, we have main loot. Lot of space, very open. Not super advanced, I'm not gonna lie. This space in general is not as advanced as I would usually build. But that's purely because I couldn't prepare anything, and I literally built this on the fly. And one thing that's very important from these bedrooms, other than that they lead to main loot, is that there are these peaks. These peaks are really, really good for retaking. Once again, our base is most likely going to get pummeled, so we don't need those. Furthermore, the main loot has insane amount of box space, and I did that on purpose. I did that because the server turned 2x in the second day until now, until the end. So I thought we are going to need a lot of space. We are going to need a lot of lockers. We're going to have a lot of loot, so we need a lot of space. That's kind of like my way of going there. So that is the reason why that is how it is. One thing you notice is that these two bedrooms that we have, there's a door next to it. And there's a door here as well, but on the opposite side right there. And these doors lead to the shooting floor. They're the classic way up. And then we have the 4 alternative ways up that are right here. We're going to take the alternative way up. We go up here and we're immediately on the shooting floor. From the front door, you can get immediately onto the shooting floor and the other way around. That's very important. And there's four ways. So this means that no matter what side we get raided from, there's always a way to the shooting floor or a way down. That's safe. And we don't have to go all the way inside the base to get to the shooting floor or something. If we go here, we're back at those peek downs that I showed you guys. And this is the other way up. It's right here. The same on the other side. There's 2 of them. One thing you notice is our roof peaks. And up here, we have our roof peaks with 2 doors. These are battery rooms. We go up here, we have our first initial roof peaks. They're very nice because I elevated them a half wall higher compared to how they usually are. So there are a lot more angles. In here, we have a bedroom. This is like the main bedroom area for the shooting floor. This is optional box space, 2 spaces for lockers, and we lead in here. We can go 2 ways. We can go to the wooden door up here, which leads to the roof. Or we can go to this garage door, which leads to roof peaks, but also loot room peaks. And the angles are very narrow. They're not optimal, I know. But they're like purely optional extra angles. The turrets can do quite some work here as well. Can be very annoying to deal with. So if I would have planned this base, this is definitely something that I would have done better. But on the fly, I think that this is fine. And the same is on the other side. So I think that's mostly it, other than the roof. So we go up to the roof, and the same once again is on this side. See, it's completely mirrored. We go up to the roof, nothing really special going on, and a lot of people might ask, why is the roof so open? Why are you not using your roof? Now, there's 2 reasons for that. One is that I wanted to wait for using roofs until we had turrets. And 2 is that the more open this is, the harder it is to top down our base, because there's no cover. Now, at this point, I'm actually debating whether or not I should add roofs. That's probably something you'll see on the final version of this base. That's probably something I'm still going to do in the next hour. But other than that is the reason why. And then we have those 4 corner things. So these corner things, they have 2 bedrooms with 2 boxes up top. Hammer, so you can pick this up. And you can rock it from here. It's very good against top-down rating. And you can also shoot down from the ladder hatch. Speaking of that, I'm probably going to have to put an AK kit in there. I think that's pretty much it. Alright, now looking back, I think it's important to draw a conclusion. On a technical note, the base was way too expensive and way too big. Although given the situation I was in, I think I made the most out of it. I think next time I will definitely build a more complicated, more technical base that's also cheaper to build. But hey, let's not give away too many details because maybe I'll be playing next time again. And I wouldn't want my enemy teams to know my thoughts, right? On a personal note, however, this base did create a lot of fun memories and great content moments. And even some design choices weren't always the best. I had an insane amount of fun building this base live on stream. I appreciate anyone that was there live to witness this and support me. And I want to thank Facepunch, Twitch and Rustoria and anyone else that was involved with Twitch Rivals for their insane effort to make this the best and most fun tournament Rust has ever had. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.